Cincinnati football has always been a tough and rugged mindset program.
So that tough, that grit, that nastiness.
We work it!
Us against the world mentality, it's so much hype, so much energy.
Like you said, the word buzzing.
Coach Scott Satterfield is leaving the Cards for the University of Cincinnati. Breaking news right now.
UC is officially joining the Big 12.
Looking back on it, coming into that season, high expectations to coming into the Big 12.
That season we had was unacceptable.
We're going to make it hard on purpose.
It's probably not going to be for everybody.
You can be a quitter or you can be a Bearcat, but you can't be both.
Well, I think coming into Cincinnati, we knew there was going to be a lot of challenges.
When I heard we were getting Sat, I got excited because Sat recruited me out of high school, and then I was always interested in him as a coach, and then we kind of got reunited.
They can go with anybody. I don't care group of five. I don't care power five. Just watch them.
The biggest win in the history of Cincinnati football.
We knew we were going to have to come in, put a lot of hard work into it, and really had to learn a lot on the job last year about what we have to do in order to compete in this conference.
Cincinnati football has always been a tough and rugged mindset program.
Since day one I came in, it was always tough and nasty, Clifton style. It's always hard to win in Nippert Stadium. When teams come in here, it's going to be loud, physical.
It's so much hype, so much energy. When they pan it to the students in the end zone, they're all going crazy. Particularly like those blackouts that you would see on TV, and it was just a ton of energy.
Hey, we done said all we need to say. We done said all we need to say. Go out here and play the fastest you can possibly play, and you hit them in the mouth the whole game, and play for your brothers beside you. Leave it all out on the field, everything that you do.
Looking back on it, coming into that season, a lot of high hopes, a lot of high expectations to coming into the Big 12. And we started out the year with 2 wins, and you're thinking pretty good. You go on the road, beat a good Pitt team, and and everything's riding high. And then all of a sudden, you're playing Miami, a team coming in here that's been a rival game for years.
The longest standing non-conference football rivalry.
And a team that's right down the road from us. And, we end up losing in overtime.
Here at Nippert Stadium, it comes down to this play. In the first overtime, Jones, patient, throws, intercepted. Miami has snapped the skid.
I would say the Miami, Ohio loss hit me very hard and it hit me deep inside to the point I didn't realize we really lost the next day. So that's one game I'm looking forward to, just because how big the rivalry is.
And you're facing that adversity, and how are we going to be able to come out of that? And I thought, it's a lot of things that we didn't do well, trying to come out of that adversity. And then we lost some close games along the way.
3rd down at 4. Jones standing tall, flips it, and it's intercepted. And this is going to go back to the house for a
1 possession games, 2-point game here, a 4-point game there, games that could have went our way.
Yeah, that's a good pull. Smith has it popped out of his arms, picked up, scooped, and scored.
Talking about changing the dynamics of this game.
And we just didn't get over the hump and were able to win those games. And I think several reasons come out from that. I think discipline. We were very undisciplined in some of those games.
Cincinnati, who are you as a team? I know Scott Satterfield's like, what's the personality of my team?
This is a different team trying to find their way. You're going to have some ups and downs.
But we did learn a lot about our team. We learned a lot about our players, of who can fight through adversity and who really didn't do a good job with that. I think, and that's one of the things as we went through this off season, to try to figure out, we want the guys that can fight through adversity, because we know we're going to face that. And no matter what, in this sport, I mean, in this conference, I mean, these games come down to the very end, and it's the teams that have that fortitude, that fight, that grit that will get you over the hump to win those games. And I think, that was one of the main emphasis as we head into the offseason of finding, those type of players that can fight through that adversity.
That season we had was unacceptable, and we're gonna do better.
All right, man. Man, welcome back. Welcome back. Glad everybody's decided to be back here. To those of you sitting in the room, we got a bunch of guys that obviously on the team from last year. And then we got a bunch of guys that just got here, and we're excited about everybody that's in this room.
And when you say recruiting, it used to mean, high school players. That's not the case anymore. When we talk about recruiting, number one, we're starting out with our own team and our own players. All right, we're going to be recruiting our players again, the ones that we want to be a part of our team, the ones that have that fight, that toughness, that grit, that stand for the right things. That do the things off the field and also on the field. And so, we really zeroed in on those type guys, the Corleones, the Corey Connors, the Praters, the Gerhardts, the Kendras, the Dingles. I mean, the guys that really do things right.
My reason for coming back to Cincinnati is because this is my home. I want to be a winner in my city. I don't want to leave my city as a loser. I want to give my city back everything that it's given me, and that's love, success, and it's time, quality.
My reason for coming back, one is my mom, someone who always cherished me, watching me play football. Second is the coaching, challenged me from day one. Coach Satt, the rest of the coaching staff just always took me and cherished me and just make me a better man off and on the field. And third, especially third, is the city, the fan base, just showing me love throughout my NIL success or just success in general. They just gonna show me love no matter what.
I feel like we got a great group of men in this room, a great group of men that can go out and do some great things. Because I truly believe that we were not that far off last year. All right, the record doesn't indicate that, but we were not that far off. A couple plays here or there, a couple decisions here or there by coaches, by players, by all the things that how we carry ourselves is going to make the difference. Coach Nico and I have gone over this off-season program, the stuff that you guys are getting ready to look at a little bit here tonight. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for all of us.
One of your most important hires is the strength coach. He's around our guys more than any other coach, any other person in the building. They're literally almost every day over in the weight room doing something, whether it's training with Nico or they're coming in to train on their own. He's going to be around. So, I think that's an extremely important hire. And I, reached out to several different people about, give me some names, that's out there in the strength world that do an outstanding job. He was one of the names that kept popping up.
So originally I'm from Metro Detroit. I grew up about 25 minutes west of the city. Great place to grow up, great family, tough kind of blue collar mentality family. Very, very blessed, great upbringing, went to Catholic high school. From there I went to Michigan State University. I played fullback there, which was a blessing in itself because I was, I think, the last of the Mohicans. I might have literally killed that position. I think it no longer existed after I was done with it. But enjoyed my time there. When I was a senior, my career was cut short. I injured my neck. So from there, I was fortunate enough to move into the weight room where I served as a student intern for the Rose Bowl winning Michigan State Spartan 2013 team. And then from there, went on to be a GA.
I'm very excited because two reasons, really. Number one is I'm excited for who's in these freaking chairs, who's in this room right here. We all know that really this team looked very different 5 weeks ago, okay? So the guys that are in this room right now, I'm so excited to work with.
One word to describe Coach Nico is energetic.
If I were to describe Coach Nico in one word, it would be energy.
Contagious, I think would be the one word that I would describe Nico with. He brings such a great energy and intensity. His approach, for all those things that you want to be around that guy. Like you want to, you want to be there, right there with him, and whatever he is, trying to get guys to do, you want to be there to help to get the guys to be able to do that. I think as a player, as a coach, you want to be around those type guys. I think that's just a great leadership quality. that he has and able to grab a bunch of people and get them to go this direction.
The winter program that we're all about to go through is going to build the foundation for our success. Coach Shad already said it. Our goal is to win a Big 12 championship. That is our freaking goal. And the people in this room and the program that we are going to undertake together, that's the start, baby.
You have to understand that, and I told our guys this, you have to understand that every single program is working very hard, and every program has the same goals. Really, their goals are to win a conference championship, make the playoffs, and hopefully win a national championship. That's every program's goals. And our question is, well, what's going to separate us? What's going to separate us from everyone else's goals? And there's really two things. Number one is the demanding nature of our program. And so we needed to push our training threshold to another level. And yes, training in itself is hard, but also it's the mental consistency day after day.
The strong shall reign. That's our motto. That's our theme. That is our theme of this winter. Okay? And really why? Why? Because the expectation is that we are winners. And to be a freaking winner here, we have to go through suffering together. So what we did last year isn't going to work. So like we talked about, we're raising that standard and we're going to be accountable to that freaking standard. And that standard's going to be really, really high. The highest of anything I've ever been a part of. This offseason is going to be the most demanding thing I've ever seen in my career. So in 12 years, it's going to be the most demanding thing. And it needs to be. It needs to demand that from everybody. We all have to buy into it. Because when we make it to the other side of that program with the guys we have in this room, we will reign.
What we want to do is stress our guys to a point where they're going to question themselves, do I really want to do this or not? And is this really worth it? And we hope the answer will be yes, and then we'll continue on. If in order to get to that point, it has to be extremely difficult. And when we say difficult, it's not just the physical aspect of being more difficult. It is the accountability and the discipline that can be difficult.
What are we going to do different? Are we going to hold that standard high and get it to the other side? And if we can do that, I think we are deserving to be Big 12 champions. We've earned it. And then we just got to do it. Now, in regards to the board, the strong shall frickin' reign. This will be up until the thing just burns into this board. The strong shall reign. We covered that yesterday. Phase 1 is Buds, Bearcat under development. So this is a transition week. And in this week, we are earning the CPAW. Okay, we're going to harp on this a lot. It is a privilege to be here. It is a privilege to have a CPAW on your helmet, on your shirt, and we will train that way. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I'm pushing you to the point where there's conflict. And when there is conflict, how do we respond? How do we listen to one another? How do we freaking resolve those conflicts in order to win games? That's our goal.
I met with every player. So the first 2 weeks was a one-on-one meeting, and every single player noted how different this team feels. So it's palpable. What excites me most is the seriousness of this group, is the focus of this group. And almost every single player I met with stated that their goal is to return us to our winning expectations.
My expectation this season is just stepping up, being an overall leader, a better leader, being more vocal.
Importantly, bro, somebody failing, bro, pick up, don't take them down, just keep them up. Let's go, work on 3, 1, 2, 3, work!
I'm just gonna take that challenge head on and just keeping our team together, win, lose, or draw, and just fight as a brotherhood.
Coming into this season, we got a lot of high expectations. I know as coaches and as players. The things that we went through in the winter, the things that we're gonna go through this summer are gonna prepare us for that fight that we're gonna have in the fall. These games are gonna come down to the fourth quarter. Who are gonna be able to make those plays in the fourth quarter? Who's got that fortitude and that grit and that toughness? the proper attitude, that's going to play with some great effort in order to win these games in the fourth quarter. That's got to be the Bearcats. But you got to go out and you got to stay in the moment. You got to stay poised, and you got to continue with that fight and that toughness that we're going to be known for.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the University of Cincinnati and Coach Satterfield, clearly. From southeastern Ohio, grew up in a small town, so forever growing up I knew where Cincinnati was, what Cincinnati was all about, and the great history there, obviously. Certainly excited to be back in my home state and a place where I've got great relationships, not just with my immediate family, but with many other people as well, and excited for the opportunity here. I feel like there's great responsibility for me to be here. Obviously, the state I grew up in, the state I'm from, the state I still have family living in, I feel like there's a great responsibility here.
I have kind of a unique story when it comes to my background and history. Didn't play college football, but I've always known probably since I was 11 or 12 years old that I wanted to coach. You know, didn't know what level, high school, college, NFL, I just wanted to coach. And then just knowing Coach Satterfield, you know, we worked together for 5 or 6 years at Appalachian State. Just knowing what kind of person he is.
In the football world, you're obviously connected through college football with watching many guys over the years. Obviously, Coach Satterfield's had great success everywhere he's been. For those of us that know Coach Satterfield, he's a great guy. Is certainly a guy that you can relate to. He's easy to talk to. You've got a great comfort level with him.
There was an Australian at Louisville at the time, Mark Vassett, who I was pretty close with, and he spoke really highly of this coaching staff, all of them. So as soon as I knew that before they came here, and then as soon as I met them, I knew they were really family-orientated people and that they'd look after me, and they've done every bit of that.
You're always paying attention to the state you're from, I believe, and University of Cincinnati has a great tradition, in my opinion, over the years, not just in recent times.
The consistent winning that Cincinnati's done for the past, I don't know, 15 or 20 years, you know, I knew the kind of program that was in place here.
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I went to Wyoming High School.
And bringing home a state title to cap off the winningest season in school history.
I had a family that loved me, cared for me. Growing up, my dad played football, and then I was watching my brother play football, and I never really wanted to play growing up. I thought I was always going to be a basketball player, but getting the opportunity to play with my brother in high school and following his footsteps, I kind of just wanted to be like him. So once I saw him go play college football, I knew I wanted to do the same thing.
A very exciting moment, knowing that I'm signing for these upcoming years of my life. I couldn't choose a better school than Cincinnati in my home city. I'm excited to stay home.
I just wanted to stay close to home, close to family, and also just having the opportunity to play for this city. Growing up, I used to come to UC games as a little kid, watching Marty Gilliard, Tony Pike. I mean, it was something that I always wanted to be a part of.
Commitment for UC today. Evan Prater told reporters he's going to play his college ball with the Bearcats.
I think the expectations were just so high, and when I first got here, I felt like I was letting a lot of people down. I knew I was coming in, being behind guys like Desmond Ritter and Ben Bryant, who are phenomenal football players, but I think it just took a huge toll on me personally. But there was a lot of weight to it, and I don't think a lot of people understand the weight that that carries. When you're out seeing little kids and little kids coming up to you and saying hello, asking for your autograph. I mean, I just want to do my part to make this culture great and, you know, do my best to help win games here.
He's been waiting for this opportunity, and it seems like the next man up has some leadership skills you want.
Only so many opportunities left for the guys in this room. Let's go get us some dub today.
The reason I stayed, I had a lot of conversations with a lot of different people, a lot of different coaches, but the ultimate thing was talking to my family. And I think they knew I wanted to stay here, and I always wanted to be a part of this growing up.
Evan's a great person. You know, no negatives with him at all. First of all, just to be unselfish, you know, he's what you want in a teammate.
Pick up the energy, create your own energy. A lot of people counting us out this year. Come together, do it for the guy next to you.
He made the position change. you know, which is something he had to get used to. But he was willing to sacrifice that, his own personal goals and future, you know, for the team. So that says it all about him. Like, who can't walk in the locker room and not be proud to have that guy in the same room with you?
I had a lot of conversations with Coach Sat, Coach Thomas back in the spring, because that was when I was still playing quarterback, but I was having a bunch of shoulder problems, so wasn't really able to throw the ball in practice, and kind of just took a toll on me personally, and all I wanted to do was get out there and play ball with the guys. When I was making that position switch, it was just, I knew that it was bigger than myself, and I mean, once I did it and once I realized that it wasn't just bettering the team, but I was also doing it for myself in the long run, I think it just helped me make that switch and that transition. I just think it made it a lot easier.
I'm also going to ask a dude, a leader to talk, share his experience on what last year meant, but also what being a Bearcat mean to him. Evan Prater, please start us off.
What's up, y'all boys? I'm Evan Prater. This is my 5th year here. Been at Cincinnati through the highs and the lows, obviously, but going through last year, I mean, for the guys that were in this room at the same time last year, we all know that sucked. But moving forward, we got to take the good from it, the learning lessons, and these are some of the things that I took from last year. It's just being grateful for the opportunity. We're all blessed to be in this position, and moving forward, I mean, a lot of people would give everything they got to be where we are right now. So the last thing I want to say is just failure is a greater teacher than success. So let's go get paid today, y'all boys. I want to be a leader for this team. I want to be a guy that people look at and they're like, I know that he's going to have my back no matter what the circumstances are, what the situation is. So that's kind of why I put my best effort forward every day.
He's a guy you never have to question effort, you know, and his mentality and his attitude and where his mindset is. But if you talk about the word effort just by itself, you know, that's a non-negotiable in football.
Remember, this is who the we are as a culture. We're tough, we're gritty, we're nasty. We have to embrace this combat, Eric. We have to embrace this, Eric. It's who the we are. And I want to see it. I want to see it different. Let's go, let's go. We're going to. Let's go.
We got all the fans in they tracks. Can't dance cause they rich. Stand tall, put a finger, never that. I knew a nigga had it all, went to the B and get it back. That's why I'm never. And I remember whatever. Don't chase up cause they come with the shadow.
Who are we? It will be defined, Dion, by the way we train. So if we don't embrace this work, if we don't believe that this work, Raekwon, is what's going to set us apart from the teams we play against, then we're no chance. Then we won't be who we want to be, and we won't get the results that we want to get. We won't be Big 12 champs.
Effort means to me just giving everything you can, and effort's like an on and off button. You either have it on or you have it off. There's no in between for me. So effort is just something that no matter whether you're a freshman, whether you're a walk-on, you come in here and you give everything, and that's the culture that, you know, that this team has. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, so about 32 hours of travel away from here. I have a little brother who punts at Arkansas. 2 loving parents that were. My mum didn't miss one of my junior sporting games growing up, from probably 5 till when I was 19. My dad played Australian football for 23 years, so also very blessed in that aspect that I was lucky to have someone that I could look up to and want to be one day, and that's the exact reason why I wear 31, because I always wanted to do that as a kid because my dad did. He's a great human, and he just wants to see me happy, and can't ask for much more than that as a son. I was very blessed as a freshman to come in and start. One, as a true freshman, that was a young guy that had never experienced, one, this sport or two, this country before. I think it's pretty hard to stay grounded. You know, people start talking about the NFL and stuff like that after you have I had a really good year my second year, and you know, was the third best punter in the country, and it's kind of hard to stay grounded when all that stuff comes up.
By Bluey Mupton, picked up, and Cincinnati.
I think as a specialist at a lot of other schools and a lot of other places, you kind of just, you know, you can just almost do whatever you want in terms of lifting stuff, and I think that's what's been really good about the two head coaches that I've been with here. You're expected to lift with everyone else in the team. I think that's a great thing because people trust you more because you've done everything, or you've done all the hard stuff with them, and you've put all the blood, sweat, and tears with every one of those teammates, and you don't get to turn effort off. Not when you're a Cincinnati Bearcat.
What do we talk about? Effort. We talk about having to test our standard, the standard that we put forth, right? The standard that we built. Great start. Now the only challenge is, can we maintain this consistency? Because if we can, man, I promise you, special things will happen in this group. The strong shall freaking reign. The strong shall freaking reign. That is a great start to our freaking Phase 2 winter program now. Get in! Hey, here we go! Family on three! 1, 2, 3! Family!
I wasn't a great high school player and wasn't a great college player, but had the ability to have success at times because I potentially worked a little bit harder or paid attention to detail a little bit better maybe than others. And I think the toughness that you get, the blue collar feel that you get when you're from the state of Ohio, to me, is certainly what you're striving for.
Winning's everything. You know, you don't come here to not win, especially at the University of Cincinnati.
And that's what this winter is really about, guys. It's really about working to the extent at which we want to be, and then defining who we are as a group, defining how that mentality of how we train, how we work, how that's going to define who we are as a team and how we play the game. So that's what we're defining right freaking now. That's going to be throughout the whole winter. At the end of the winter, man, we're going to know exactly who we are. We're going to know exactly what we stand for, and we're going to know exactly how we play this game.
You know, I think when you describe the good things about the city, I think you want all those good things to translate over to your football team. And if they match each other, man, you're gonna win a lot of games.
Hey, that last year was unacceptable. Hey, 4 quarters right here, we lost a lot of games in that second half. Hey, do for y'all, brother, let's get done there, all right?
Kind of getting the vibe from everybody this year. I think everybody has those same goals, and it's not the selfish goals of, oh, I want to go play at the next level. I think it's the team goals that are, we want to go win a Big 12 championship, and we want to show everybody that last year isn't who we are.
We are now looking forward with deliberate focus. I said, we were training, and training's great. We were working, and working's great. But now we're chasing something. Because now we're looking forward to what we could be. How are we going to compete? How are we going to embrace the challenge of today? We're looking forward to developing the team of 2024.
What you do on this day matters. What you do with this rep, what you do with this drill, what you do with this lift, every last one of them matters.
Yes, sir. Talk it up, man. Talk it up.
It's obstacle in front of us. How are we going to attack it?
McEntee to throw from his end zone. Got to get rid of it. And the ball is batted around and picked off for a touchdown. Walter Stewart comes up with it. We'll see if it's ruled an INT or a fumble recovery, but it's a touchdown for Cincinnati.
It's a tough city. And, you know, our style of play kind of matches that.
And a free shot at Sunseri with Stewart. Ball is free.
You know, it's just a tough place. It's just a tough environment, tough culture.
From the outside looking in, looking at the city of Cincinnati, and really, it's almost like a state. The way this whole city is, the way the people are here, the first word that comes to mind is pride.
That's the things that I prided myself in as a player. That was my edge.
Walter Stewart coming on the blitz and just doing a great job for the University of Cincinnati.
There's a lot of toughness. You've seen that from watching different teams come through here, no matter who the coach was. That's what the city was known for.
Number one, it's trusting our training. It's training at a rate that's so high, we have confidence in how we train and how we do things. And number two, it's belief through our connection. It's connected. Those two things are going to separate us.
This place is, obviously, means a lot to me, so having an opportunity to be back here just, in general is a big deal. And, having a chance to kind of set that foundation for this whole Power 5 thing, that was a really big deal to me. One thing that I always tell the guys is, at least when it comes to toughness, is that there's only one way to do this position. The ball is snapped, it's happening right now. And, it's a thankless job, pushing people around and getting off of blocks and playing at the line. It's a thankless job, but there's only one way to do it.
Now, toughness is the theme of the week, guys. Toughness is the theme of the week. And I'm just going to touch real base on one thing. It's going to be embrace all challenges we face. Embrace it. Embrace it. So we got to think, today is just a freaking another chance, man. This is another chance. It's going to be hard. It's going to be adversity that we face. It's what is our mentality going into it? Are we going to embrace it, JY, or are we going to sit back and let it attack us? So today, and really the rest of the week, it's obstacle in front of us. How are we going to attack it? What's the mentality? Embrace that. Love a challenge. Embrace it. Attack it. We have to push you to your absolute highest level. That's our job.
What it means to be here is everything to me. Me coming back home, playing with y'all, it makes me love football even more. It makes me love it even more.
Luke Kandra, just an incredibly tough kid. And not just tough, he cares about the team, but he cares about this city, and he loves it.
Coach Cardwell and I think we're very close, being with him for 3 years.
My first year with Coach Cardwell this past season has been awesome. And I kind of look at him as a father figure almost.
Him finding his voice throughout this year, speaking up, calling guys out, telling people when they're not doing things the right way, understanding the standard of what it takes to win here in Cincinnati.
I mean, he's probably one of the best coaches I ever had, teaching me a lot about life, a lot about football, being how energetic he is. Just the kind of person he is has just been very grateful for my opportunity to be with him.
Man, he is what Cincinnati is. Tough, gritty, and he is nasty.
I think toughness in this offseason is everything. Everything we do, you have to have toughness.
Be at your best for your crew, for your brother.
This program is going to push us to our absolute brink.
Right, left.
What you see in those guys right now is a pissed off group That's what's down there right now. And it's not just the strength coaches, it's the players. They are pissed off at how the season ended last year, and they can't wait for the season to begin right now. And that's what's being cultivated down there, is an irritation for complacency, but also a fight for wanting to win.
A lot of times, I like to really tap in when it's the hardest.
Get one win! Get one win! Let's go!
And let those guys know, like, hey, just so y'all know, we are doing some things that's really difficult. And guess what? That's just the job description.
Let's go, baby. Everybody clapping, clapping. I want you guys to know how much that workout meant to me, man. That's hard now. We all know that's so hard. We have spring ball right in the corner. We have 7 more work days. 7 more work days left until spring ball. And to come in like that, a willingness to compete, a willingness to spill it, a willingness to be locked in and have discipline at the very end. Fantastic job. Great effort. Awesome. Now, the only easy day was today.
I feel a big difference in this team. Bringing in 28 new guys, you can already tell they've bought into what we want to be about as a team, and the culture Coach Sat and Coach Nico have laid, and what our core values will be. And it's a night and day difference from where we were this last fall.
The tough times will pass, but the tough people will still stick around. The toughness will be the glue that keep everybody together, because we all going through that suffering together.
It is very important for all of us, myself, the team, and the city, to have us bring back the glory of what is Cincinnati football.
Returning Cincinnati to a winning program, from when I first started watching UC growing up to getting recruited in high school, it means everything to me. It's very important to me to return that standard of winning culture here at UC, and a tough and nasty program.
We got a lot of momentum now, a lot of momentum. We got to keep building this.
You're going to have your back up against the wall, and what we're trying to teach these young men is, how are you going to react in that moment? Are you just going to give up? Are you just going to quit? Or are you going to decide to push the pile for that extra inch? And that's what we want to teach our guys, and that's what we want them to do.
Be at your best all the time. If you don't feel good, that's being tough and still executing. So yes, I know we're banged up. Yes, I expect you to be at your best.
This place is special. We've been through a lot, and we've won a lot, and we've had a lot of good coaches and players that have come through here. And meeting that expectation every single year is always a challenge, but that's just what it is, and I take a lot of pride in that.
Massive freaking week. Massive freaking week. Who we are and what we're going to be will be answered. We'll know by the end of our freaking winter. We talked about that. We have 5 more freaking work days. In 5 work days, we're going to freaking know. And then the theme this week is brotherhood. And this has been up all freaking winter. And really, it's how connected can we become? That's the theme. How connected can we become? How connected have we become? How connected can we continue to become? And then when the season rolls around, how unbreakable can we be? That's our challenge.
Being able to actually see our roster and know what we needed to compete at a Big 12 level, and having familiarity with Coach Sat. I got here, the first day I ever met him was my first day on the job. So after knowing him for a year, we really were able to get familiarity with what each other wants, what we need on the roster, to really identify the holes from the perspective of the portal, to know what we need to go after.
So within recruiting, it's my role to, once we've identified a guy and, everybody's on board, we're going to get them, to really just put a plan in place and, get everybody on the same page with, how we're going to get our next Bearcat.
So I knew a lot of the guys, so that kind of made the process easier, just to, from a comfortability aspect of it. And I felt like I could come and be a part of something great.
It was a big change, you know, the weather and everything, being away from home. But once I got here, I like the seat, I like the vibe. I seen like the fans of how they behind you guys and the Bearcats. I say the pitch though was just kind of get me to the next level, develop me as a player and a person, just being able to learn from guys and elevate my game. And just being able to be pushed every day, that was my biggest thing. Just wanting to be pushed and play at a bigger stage, Big 12, just so I can go and showcase my talents.
When it comes to Jack Cass and all the guys in the recruitment department, they're really big on relationships. I really built good relationships with those guys when I took my visit here.
We want to build these relationships because it's not just the next 4 years, but it's the next 30 years, the next 40 years that, you know, we're going to be involved in these kids' lives and they're going to have an impact on our lives as well.
One of the differentiating factors that we have is an extremely genuine staff. If players get around our staff, they're exactly who they are at all times, and that starts with the head coach.
So when I went on my recruiting dinner with Coach Satt, like the conversation we had was just so easy and so comfortable. Like he talked to me like I was a person, not like a recruit or like a product. You see what I'm saying? Like he talked to me like I was Kai.
What he's trying to do, I know he told me like coming into a new conference, it'd be hard, a 3-9 year. But I like his mindset of trying to turn things around. I know going to a new conference can be harder. The competition level is way harder, but I think I liked his mindset of trying to turn this thing around. So I wanted to be a part of that.
Just when it comes to really everyone in the whole recruitment department, the coaches, we all have mutual interests as far as me coming here and looking forward to building a season in which we deserved versus last year. Obviously, it wasn't the standard of UC being Bearcats. I think that every movement during the offseason was towards the common goal of making a better team.
You know, our motto as a program is effort, attitude, and toughness. And we have a good nucleus of players, and we wanted to empower those guys to really, they've already steered the ship forward, but we wanted to accelerate the motion of that going forward by adding guys to the team and the roster through the portal who are truly the right types of players. We'll give the coaches the guys that have enough talent, and then from there we're digging into making sure they have the right stuff about them. And I think if you ask pretty much every player on the team, this off-season program has been so difficult that the only way we were gonna build the team the way we need to is if we got the right guys in here that can go through that.
Good. Okay, appreciate it, man. Everyone's so nice and tall, feet flat on the ground. Give me 10 minutes of your attention. This is the last of the mental trainings, and I hope we all got something out of it. I know I did, and I appreciate you guys' attention. I appreciate you guys' thoughtfulness and taking this and applying it throughout these last 5 weeks now.
The things that Nico used to implement a little bit of mental strain to our training every Wednesday were mental training sessions where we would talk about the values of a program, as far as discipline, as far as accountability, as far as respect. When you're in a very physically demanding setting, it's very important to have a good sense of mental structure so you don't necessarily fall apart under stress. And during the season when bullets are flying and there's adversity, you need that strong base.
Brotherhood. And I think it's been a reoccurring theme. And I said there's two things that are going to separate us as a team. Number one, belief in our hard work. Belief that our hard work will pay when we need it. When it's on the when it matters most, when we need it the most, we can count on our training, right? That's number one. And then number two is connection, is brotherhood. It's the ability to play for something more than yourself. It's connection, it's believing in a connection, it's believing that connection and playing for your freaking brother will result in win, all right? And so those are the two things that I think can separate us. So it's very fitting that this is the last thing.
Just give us one thing. What makes you a teammate you can be trusted? We'll go. We'll say one thing and then say why.
That's somebody who is accountable and show that they really love the game. And just when times get hard and stuff, keep a smile on your face and stuff, keep everybody encouraged.
Personally, from playing, I respect like work ethic and consistency. So it's like I can, versus like Coach Sapp. Coach Sapp's quiet. I respect Coach Sapp because that's him every single day. Versus Coach Coombs, loud. I respect that.
Speaking up vocally don't always gotta look the same. You see what I'm saying? Just because Corey can get up and rah rah in front of the team don't mean that gotta be your way of being a leader. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I think our first goal was Bearcats first. Bearcats first, team first. And then the sub goal of that is forge a brotherhood. And people throw out family, people throw out brotherhood, people throw out all these terms of really what are you trying to get to? And that's a connection. So how connected can we become? How locked in can we be as a family? And I think that's an edge, but how do you actually do it? For me, there's only one way, and that's forging it through the fire of training. That's making a program that's hard enough that people see each other's weaknesses, people see each other's strengths, people see themselves at their most vulnerable place, and then you work together to get to the common goal. And I think that's what training does the best at. And so it had to be really hard. If it wasn't hard enough, the bonds aren't going to be close enough.
Let's go. Yup, slow the way down, slow the way down. 6. Come on, let's work. Come on.
And really that's been the biggest goal of our whole winter was you take a bunch of individuals, you take, a majority of guys that worked together last year, and then you throw in an additional 25 to 30 players. And now it's how can we make this as close of a unit as possible?
You need heat. You need heat to connect. And that's the whole point of the winter, right, Eric? Yeah. That's the whole point. The whole point, Sincere, is you use hardship. You use the heat of training to put two things together, to connect, so that they come unbreakable. And that's what you need to do. Let's take a little lessons from the Welders, okay? That's how we do it. So that's why the winter's been so hard. That's why we've trained to the extent that we've trained. So we use the fire to connect and make an unbreakable bond.
The workouts are forcing them to really bond and connect in a very deep way that takes that relationship to a whole nother level. And so that's one of our goals that has to be continued to be emphasized. And really, I think that's what's going to separate us when we get to the season.
It is officially March Frickin' Madness. It is officially the week of March Frickin' Madness. And what does that mean, Debo? Number one, that'll mean who we are and what we're gonna be will be answered. We'll know by the end of our frickin' winter. We talked about that. We have 5 more frickin' work days. In 5 work days, we're gonna frickin' know. Also, what it means is his performance and preparation prep for what? For what? Ball. For ball, baby, for spring ball. And so, what this whole week's gonna be is it's gonna be about competitive excellence. And what does that mean? That means, JD, when we need you to compete, when we need you to be at your best, are you ready to be at your best?
We ballin' like March Madness. Stop shooting.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for everyone being here. Hope everyone enjoys this. The camaraderie, you can feel it. Last year, guys would have been like, where's my to-go box? This year, everyone's sitting down. Everyone was enjoying each other's company. You can feel it, and I really, really appreciate that. I think it's a testament to what we've accomplished this winter. Now, my whole mentality, and I talked about this in January, is I can't move past something unless we acknowledge it, unless we celebrate it. And for me, this winter is deserving of recognition. It's deserving of reflection, and it's really deserving to show and highlight the effort, the hard work, the dedication, the discipline, the sacrifice that we really put forth. Oh! God. Oh, God! I fired away, 21.97, right there, right there, right there. Strength goes up, speed goes up, gains 9 pounds, hard-earned 9 pounds. The thing I appreciate is your consistency every single day, man. You work hard, relentlessly. Your positivity is contagious. You make everyone that works with you better. You demand their freaking best. I appreciate you a lot, Kai.
So I had the privilege of working with Kai when we were both at Ohio State together. So Kai and I's relationship goes back a couple years, and I knew what we were going to get with Kai. I knew that we were going to get a special athlete, but on top of that, a guy of incredibly high character. And Kai Stokes, outside of all of his measurable improvements, Kai's best attribute is Kai's willingness to coach one another.
Slow. You got one more? Come on. Slow.
His willingness to be a great teammate, his willingness to put his ego aside and demand and seek how he can gain respect from his teammates. And that humility and that selflessness wore off on everybody. Like anyone that Kai trains with has the best workout of their lives. Anyone that Kai's in interaction with is always gonna leave off more positive. Kai is a energy giver. Kai is a selfless as they come, and Kai just wants to help a team and enjoy the process. And Kai's an incredible influence on this team.
JB, this guy trains like a maniac. Dances, he's crazy, makes me nervous when I coach him. This guy got bigger, he got stronger, he got freaking faster. He's a guy that comes in, he's very deliberate with the way, where's JB at? He trains with a purpose every single day, man. I appreciate you. You've made this program better, more focused, more disciplined. Thank you very much, JB. Hell of an effort, man. And that's our challenge, man. We've made changes this winter. Us collectively, as a team, us as individuals. Now we can't go back, because this is who we are as a program now. We can't lull back to bad habits. We can't accept anything but our standards. And because that is who we are as a program, that is who we are. We coach each other up. We demand each other's best.
I think we struck magic with the offseason. I think the way we organized our crews, the way we organized the competitiveness, it got the best out of everyone. And now you change the dynamic. The dynamic becomes playing time. The dynamic becomes competing. The dynamic becomes working as hard as I can to maximize myself and the well-being of the team. So for my challenge, and I think the challenge of the team is, can we continue to emphasize competition? Can we continue to maximize ourselves, but do it with the whole team mentality in sight? Doing that for the common good of the team. And then my challenge also, and really what I'm putting on myself is, can we maintain our standard to be as high as it was at the end of winter?
You've trained to the extent that you've earned a chance to have success. You've earned the right to say, I am working to get a Big 12 championship. That's been earned. I appreciate your effort. Hell of a job, go Bearcats, baby.
All right, guys, welcome. Day one spring ball. Excited about this opportunity right here to see you guys come out here and work today. You guys, again, reiterate what Coach Nico and those guys went over last Friday. Great winter, a great winter, all right, a great winter. Those 2 months, you guys busted your tails to get everybody ready to go to get to this point right now in spring practice. So we really appreciate that, and I know your teammates appreciate that. All right, but now we get to this point of this phase of the semester, and it turns and it switches over to spring practice and spring ball. All right, so all what we're really here for is to play some ball, right? So here's what I'll ask you. If you were a guy today that didn't come in here early and get any extra work, any extra stretching, any extra film work, then you're probably not living up to the standard we want you to live up to, if you're that guy. All right, so just ask yourself that question real before we start practice one. Okay, if you came over here and you got a little extra stretch in, or you got a little extra work in the training room, or extra film work, then you're doing the kind of stuff that we need as a team to do. If I was your teammate and I'm sitting in the chairs and I came over here and did some extra stuff, then I would probably want to grab you next time to get you over here, because we need everybody to be over here to do extra stuff. It doesn't guarantee wins, it doesn't guarantee success, but I'm going to tell you what, it gives you a great chance. It gives you a great chance. And I also know that if my teammates are doing that, then we're going to have a chance. All right, so it just gives us some confidence. So understand that and know that.
With spring ball coming up, I say my biggest goal is to show my teammates that I can be counted on, and my work ethic will show. You know, obviously I came here for a job to play football. I want to take care of that, but I really want to show my teammates I'm somebody that they can depend on, and if they need somebody to call on, they can call on me, whether it's to make a play or just somebody, to talk to. I really want to show my commitment to this team through spring ball.
Back in action. Let's get this work in, man. Let's get first spring practice in the books. Let's get paid.
Hey, let's go! Hey, attack today! Let's have a great first day. Let's go to work. Hey, work on 2, 1, 2. Work!
Thing that I'm looking forward to, are getting better as a football team. And today what I saw was a lot of guys working together to get better. Great competition right from the beginning, right over here when we saw the go balls and the one-on-one with the wide receivers and DBs. You guys are competing your off, but then you're dapping each other up at the end of that. That's what it's all about, all right? Playing for each other, getting better as a football team. But a lot of good work, man. But now, day one's over. We don't practice tomorrow. How much film can you get in there and watch yourself, all right? On all 3 phases, and then you as an individual, how can we get better on practice number 2?
For me, the biggest thing I'm excited to see is I'm excited to see the strength of our connections within a positional demand. I'm excited to see our guys encourage one another and push one another and demand the best from one another.
Hey, cut up, y'all boys! Cut up! Hey, all winter, we've been stacking days. We've been putting money in the bank. Got a f***ing pass on the day. It's time to cash out. Hey, cash out on 3. Cash out on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cash out.
I'm excited to see competition where guys are putting their ego aside and working to maximize themselves so that their teammates get better. And I think we're at a place where you see a camaraderie and you see a connection that I haven't seen on a team, definitely in my time here and really in quite some time in college athletics. You see a genuine care for one another. You see a genuine bond.
Coming in the spring ball, I want to continue to prove to everyone that I can be a great leader. I want to continue to earn everyone's respect. Individually, I want to continue to grow myself to the best version that I can be of myself, as far as an athlete, as far as a linebacker, as far as just a guy that everyone can count on. I feel as if when things get difficult, I want to be someone that my teammates can lean on.
My main goal, from the time I got here, really up until the time I leave, is just to continue to prove myself to my teammates, to the coaches, to the program, to the city, to the school. I was recruited for a reason. Obviously, people believe in me and believe in my skills. So I just want to prove them right. Earn the respect and the trust of my teammates and my coaches and prove them right on a daily basis. So that's the mentality that I'm going in the spring, where I'm going in with a chip on my shoulder, coming after everything that I feel I deserve. But like I say, to really prove myself to my coaches and my team. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a part of the 180 turn of the program.
In the fourth quarter, when things get tough, you're going to lean on your brothers beside you. And that's what the off-season program is all about.
All off-season, even during the season, I'm going to do everything I can. Everything I said I was going to do, I'm going to actually do it, not just talking about it.
Coming in here every day and just working hard, pushing myself.
My leadership role, it was a lot harder because you don't really know these guys.
Bringing in so many new guys, it was a new team. I think there was a lot of anxiety and nerves about who we were going to be, if we were going to be able to develop a culture, and I think we have.
This guy was picked dead last. He was picked dead last. Dead last. Where is he? He was picked dead last. And I don't know, I'm not a fortune teller, but right now I would say that's the best thing that's ever happened to you. Because you went top 10 and he didn't even get to compete in freaking combat drills until halfway through. So you had one arm behind your back and you were top 10. Elite. You went from 89th to 7th. Hell of a job. Hell of a job. Hell of a job.
You know, Jordan Young was a guy in our defensive backfield last year. We obviously gave up some big plays. We were not very good in the defensive back room last year. We've added a lot of pieces to that puzzle this offseason. 11 new players in the defensive back room. You know, Jordan's one of those guys that came back and really put it on himself, you know, to work extremely hard this offseason. He was a guy that was picked last on our teams, of our crews. And that he really had to look inside of himself to say, all right, where do I need to do better in order to earn the respect from my teammates and to be the kind of player that I feel like I can be?
I was in his group last year for winter, and like I got to feel that he was one of the guys. But when I was watching him train, I feel like this guy it felt like he didn't care a lot. But now in this offseason, when I watched him train, it's like he's a leader. I would say he's a good contender for a leader on the team.
I feel like it starts with me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I know I know the type of person I am, I know what I can bring to the table, and I just feel like I was saying, I wasn't as vocal as I know I could have been last year, being a new guy. So now I feel comfortable, like all these guys, they're my brothers, they've been my brothers, but I just feel more comfortable around them, you know what I'm saying?
Bring it in, y'all boys, bring it in, bring it in. I just want to say I love y'all boys. Let's go out here, let's compete, let's get better today. Work hard, push hard, let's do this. Let's go, y'all boys.
Just going in there and me being the person I am and the example I am, pushing myself and making others push themselves, been helping out. So I feel like that's what the biggest change was, you know what I'm saying? Just push and keep going forward.
Last but not least, and I think we can all agree, I don't know if there's anyone that's improved more than Jordan Young. I don't know if there's anyone that's improved more. Jordan's freaking gained 10 pounds since he's gotten here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like this guy. I don't even know, I really didn't like this guy. But I love this dude. I love this dude. This dude trains with a purpose. His hair's out of his eyes. He's clear, he's focused. You can see it in his eyes, man. You can see that he's training for a purpose, that he cares about a program, that he's worked, he's gotten faster, he's gained 10 pounds. His strength's gone through the roof. He's trying to get in every drill. And that's our challenge, man. We've made changes this winter. Us collectively as a team, us as individuals. Now we can't go back because this is who we are as a program now.
He's one of the hardest workers in the off season, and this spring has gone really hard in playing the corner position, knowing the ins and outs of it. Made some great plays, got some interceptions, some knockdown balls.
This year I really wanted to be more of a leader than I was last year. I feel like I wasn't very vocal last year because we had a lot of problems, and I think we needed more people to step up and say something about it. I don't talk to people I don't know usually, so it's easy for me to go a long time without really knowing any of my teammates. I think I've been trying to really put myself out there and get to know my teammates and develop a relationship with everybody on the team, not just the guys in my position group. I think a lot of, for me, the confidence to be a leader comes from being able to do your job. I think if you can't do your job, it's hard to tell other people to do their job. So for me, getting better at my position has helped me to have the confidence to go out and talk to other guys and bring them along and yeah, get to know them and tell them, hey, you need to do your job too if I'm doing my job, you know. You know, we're a lot tighter than we were obviously at the beginning of January because bringing in so many new guys, it was a new team. I think there was a lot of anxiety and nerves about who we were going to be, if we were going to be able to develop a culture, and I think we have.
All right, guys, especially on these end-of-game scenarios, one thing that we have to be is discipline. We have to be disciplined, whether it be, and know your scenarios, know your situations. If it's short yardage, defense, what may be coming? Freeze. Freeze. All right? If it's third down, it's going to be a freeze. All right? It's a good chance of it. You got to think that. Now, you won't get off. Coach Stu is talking get off. We got to get off the football. But you got to know the scenarios. If it's third down, and it's especially inside of 5, it's probably coming. So understand that. Offense, same thing. Yesterday, I think it was last practice, was it Phil, right? Phil jumped off sides on a freeze. All right, those things kill you. They kill you, and I think there was a hands to the face right here, and they got an extra 15 yards. They put us into field goal range. You know, stuff like that will get us beat. All right, that's where we got to get better in the disciplined football part of it.
We were, I'd say, if you take away maybe 20 total bad plays out of 2,000 snaps in a season on both sides of the ball. We're probably 20 bad plays away from being 9-3 instead of 3-9. But the 20 plays those are the ones that matter. And when it matters is that's when the culture matters, you know.
This was that year where we knew we had to go as hard as we possibly could go, to the point of, do I really want to do this or not?
Most people don't know this, but last year was supposed to be my last year playing in general, because I was going to move on to my coaching career, but Dante convinced me to stay. So when I said I'm going to stay, I might as well get the best out of it as I can. But throughout the season, I kind of fell back in love with football, and I realized this is my last year playing, so I have to make it count. So I decided all off season, even during the season, I was going to do everything I can. Everything I said I was going to do, I'm going to actually do it, and I said just talking about it. I could name a lot of bad habits from previous years. So like, I would have never willingly wake up early in the morning to go work out, to get an extra workout in. I never did that. I just started doing that this year. My freshman year, I used to stay up all night playing the game and then go do a 5 a.m. lift. Now I try to go to bed around 11:30, 10 o'clock. The mental state was really where it was at, because my earlier years I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, but I didn't know how to properly handle it. But now, for like the last 2 years of my college career, I found meditation helps with me. Sitting down, just listening to music, helps me keep my mind calm, because the mind can play games on you. And with me fixing my mental state, it helped me get my physical together. That helped me get ready for this season. So like, even though when I had surgery, I still did like minor workouts that I could do at least to somewhat stay in shape. So my main focus was to stay in shape all this off season, because I've never done it out of all my years of playing college ball.
You know, Jalen Hunt was a guy that, you know, kind of a journeyman player last year, probably didn't play as much as he would have liked. You know, really probably kind of going through the motions. And I think this off season, with the help of, you know, Corleone and some of his teammates, really decided, man, if I'm going to do this, I'm going 100% all in. And he has done it. He's probably, in my opinion, the most improved player on this football team.
Yeah, coming into January, there was a huge shift in my mindset. I had to step up and become a leader, because last year was obviously not what we wanted. I've been here the longest, so there just had to be a shift in my mindset to step up and become a leader, especially for all the new guys coming in. Legacy was a huge thing for me coming here, especially. I've seen what the standard's supposed to be here from my dad, from my brother, and last year just obviously wasn't it, and I feel like I have a responsibility to continue that legacy and continue the culture that Cincinnati football is supposed to be. From January, the biggest change I've seen here is definitely the brotherhood that we have.
Well, I think these winter workouts that we had were hard, and you're sitting there watching them and you're like, you know, wow, we're asking the guys to do this. And I think, you know, to each one of those guys that are on this football team, when they had that moment, they could decide, do I really want to go through this? Is this something I really want to do? And those guys said yes. You know, they went through it. And I think the help of the brothers beside them is the reason why they're able to get through it.
Going into the season, you definitely see us just playing together as a team, not fighting each other, just playing football out there with each other, communicating with each other, And that's what we're going to see in the season. You already seen it through spring ball. Just playing together as one and just competing with each other. And we're going to compete through the season as well.
Well, the strong shall reign essentially is a never say die attitude. I mean, essentially, you have to have the grit inside of you to keep going no matter what. You know, we're playing a violent game of football. Everybody's going to be hurt. There's not going to be anybody out there that feels perfect, all right? But you still got to go out there and perform at a high level every single day at practice and in the football games. And so when you think about it, we're in a sport where if you let up a little bit, you're going to probably get dominated. And so the whole term of the only strong shall reign is you have to bring it every single day. You have to be strong. You have to be tough-minded, physically, mentally, and never give in and never say I'm going to quit, never die. All those slogans that we all talk about. But and we want to surround ourselves with those kind of men that won't quit, that won't ever give in. And when you do that, you're going to ultimately be a champion.